Welcome to Cure's How to Use Zoom video. My name is Clovis. I am our Research and Communication Specialist. I am not a Zoom expert, but I am going to walk through some key components of the Zoom application so that you can be comfortable participating in important conversations. So these are a few things that we are going to walk through today. This includes downloading Zoom, joining a meeting, naming oneself, muting oneself, turning your camera on and off, changing views. The options are speaker view or gallery view, using reactions such as the raising hands emoji, using the chat function, and eventually making your own Zoom meeting if you would like to meet with your own neighbors outside of Cure meetings. And finally, we are going to go over a few ways to deal with issues with sound and video and connectivity. Here we go. To download Zoom, you can start by searching how to download Zoom in your search bar, whether you use Bing, Yahoo, or Google. This link should come up, Download Center Zoom. You can also just search Zoom and this should appear. Going to click here, and we want the Zoom client for meetings. So this will download Zoom onto your computer. If you are using a mobile device, you can scroll down and you can get the app, and that should work on your phone or tablet. So I'm going to scroll back up and click download. Now it should download something onto your computer, look something like this. If you don't see it pop up down here, it might pop up elsewhere on your screen or in your recently downloaded. I am going to click this little arrow and click open. So it's going to walk us through a couple of steps. I'm going to continue, install. It's going to ask for your computer password. I just entered mine and I'm waiting for it to download all of the components of Zoom. Great. It says the installation was successful. We can click done. So it's asking us to update Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and do that if my computer has space, just to get the best version possible. Great. Now let's install that updated version. This might take a little while, so I will come back to this. Oh, there we go. Great. Okay. It says that my client has been successfully updated. Great. So now we've downloaded Zoom. It should appear down in your dock if you have a Mac. Mine's right here. It might also be in your Launchpad. To join a Zoom meeting, you want to begin by pulling up the Zoom meeting invitation. So here we have the Minnesota landowner meeting, which was scheduled for Thursday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. And you can scroll down to the link. This is the easiest way to join Zoom meeting, just by clicking on this Zoom link, and it'll prompt you to open the Zoom app. I'm going to click openzoom.us. Now, because this meeting was scheduled for a date that has already passed, we cannot actually join the Zoom meeting, but if this were a meeting happening right now, it would either put me in a waiting room until the host lets me into the Zoom meeting, or it would have us automatically join the Zoom meeting, in which case you want to be prepared to either mute yourself, turn your camera on and off, and change your name depending on your preferences. But first, let's go over how to join the Zoom meeting by entering the Zoom meeting ID and joining from a cellular device. So the second way to join a Zoom meeting is to use the meeting ID. Here we can see the meeting ID has been attached to the invitation. I can just copy and paste that number, Command C, and open Zoom and click join, and then paste that Zoom meeting ID. going to join the meeting. Now again, because this Zoom meeting occurred in the past, we can't actually join Zoom meeting, but you can see that it brings us to the same place. The third way to join the Zoom meeting is to join by phone. You would call into the Zoom meeting. Instead of having your face show, it would just be your number showing. If you would like step-by-step directions to learn how to join a Zoom meeting by phone, you can look up how to join a Zoom meeting by phone, and Zoom has step-by-step instructions on their website. So the first step would be to dial this phone number. Then you would be prompted to enter in the meeting ID followed by the pound sign. You may be asked to enter the host key. However, if you are a participant, you can press the pound sign again to wait if the meeting has not yet been started. Then again, you might be asked to enter your unique participant ID. If you are not a panelist in a webinar, you can press pound to skip this step. And then finally, you might be prompted to enter a meeting passcode if that is required, followed by the pound sign. If a meeting requires a passcode, this will be in the invitation. Hi everyone, welcome to Zoom. So the first thing we want to do is name ourselves. You can do that by clicking on participants down at the bottom of your screen, and then you will see a list of everyone in the Zoom meeting. Right now it's just me. So next to your name, you can click more, and the option to rename yourself will come up. You can click that and type in whatever you would like. Clovis curl with cure. And then you will see your name is updated under the participants list. The next thing you should know how to do is how to mute and unmute yourself. It is common etiquette in Zoom meetings to keep yourself muted unless you are engaged in conversation. So you can see the mute button down in your left-hand bottom corner of the Zoom screen. I'm currently muted. You can just click that once to unmute yourself, and then click it again to mute yourself. Next, let's learn how to turn our camera on and off. That is right next to the mute and unmute button. It says stop video. So this will turn your camera off. Let's click it once. And now you can't see me, and neither can anyone else in the Zoom meeting. And if you would like to show your face in the Zoom meeting, just click that one more time and your face will pop up. Two common view options in Zoom are the gallery and speaker view. Speaker view just shows the person who is currently speaking full screen, and sometimes it shows other people at the top of your screen. Gallery view shows everyone the same size on your screen, so you can see everyone in the meeting at the same time, regardless of who is speaking. To change that, you want to go to the upper right-hand corner of your screen, click View, and choose your option. Right now, I am in speaker view, and because there's only one of me in this meeting, gallery view doesn't really change anything. You should note that changing your view does not affect anyone else's view on their screen. Another Zoom etiquette is to raise your hand when you would like to speak, especially in large meetings, so that people are not speaking up at the same time. To do this, go to the bottom of your screen, click on Reactions, and click the Raise Hand function. You will also see a couple of other options, and these are just ways to engage with people without speaking verbally or typing anything in the chat. Raise hand function is the only one that will show up next to your name in the participants, so that if someone is facilitating the meeting, they can see who would like to speak next. So if I do that, it shows up in this corner of my screen, and if you go to the participants, you'll see that my hand is raised next to my name. To lower your hand, and close out of the participants list, go back to the reactions and click Lower Hand. Now, another great feature of using Zoom for meetings is that you can type in the chat for everyone to see. To go to the bottom of your screen, click on Chat, and type away. When there are multiple people in the chat, you will have an option to send messages to individuals or everyone. I encourage you to double check who you're sending a message to just to make sure you're not sending it to the wrong person while you're in a meeting. If you don't see an option to send a message to everyone and only an option to send message to the hosts or co-hosts, that may mean that they did not enable the option to chat to everyone. You can simply message the host and ask them if they can enable that for you. Now, to set up your own Zoom meeting, go to the Zoom application and you can click New Meeting. Now, if you want other people to join this meeting, as I would assume, go to the little arrow next to New Meeting and the arrow next to your meeting ID, and you can copy the ID or the whole invitation, which would include the Zoom meeting link, to your clipboard, and you can email this or text this to the people who you would like at your meeting. To schedule a Zoom meeting, go to Schedule, set the name of your meeting, set a time that works for you. You can enable a waiting room if you would like to verify who is entering your meeting, and set a couple of settings before the meeting starts. If you would like participants to have their video off, they will be able to change this once they are inside the Zoom meeting. And there are also a couple of advanced options, such as muting participants upon entry. This is a great idea for larger Zoom meetings. Great, so I set this landowner meeting to start 5 minutes from now. If I want to share this invitation, you can copy the invitation here and email it to anyone. To see all of your scheduled meetings, go to the top of your Zoom application and you will see all of the meetings that you have scheduled. Note that if you've scheduled a Zoom meeting and you are the host, the meeting cannot start until you have started the Zoom meeting. If you are having issues getting your audio to work, you want to check that this does not say join audio. If it does, that means you have not connected audio. Then you want to make sure that you are unmuting correctly. Make sure that you are not plugged into another device or connected through Bluetooth. You can go to this up arrow and make sure that you are using the correct microphone and correct speaker. You can also test the microphone and speaker without unmuting in the meeting. If you are having issues with your video, make sure there's nothing covering your camera on your computer. And of course, make sure your camera is on. And if you are having internet connectivity issues, maybe your video is laggy, I highly recommend turning your video and your camera off, and it often makes it easier for the rest of your meeting to load. So that's it for now. I believe that we did cover all of the essentials. If you are still having issues downloading Zoom or using some of its functions, do check out their website. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you at our next Zoom meeting.